Hey kids, I'm in the kitchen again, and this morning I'm going to show you what I do for a nice breakfast vegetable to add with any meal. Let me show you what I got for the cook. Okay, I've got heating on my stove my porcelain covered cast iron skillet with some grapeseed oil in it. I'm testing and making sure everything is ready. Got some chopped garlic, onions. This is Serrano and jalapeno peppers, some green peppers and some tricolored peppers. This is some poblanos. And then I've got a couple bag mixes of stuff I'll show you here in just a second, and some chopped mushrooms. So stand by. Okay, the first thing I put in was my garlic, and I've got it starting to brown. I'm going to very soon put in my onions here, like probably within moments. Yep. Got this on a fairly high heat, like about a 6 or 7. There goes our onions. I'm going to lightly salt and pepper this, just to sweat the onions a bit. Alright, I'm going to swizzle this around a little bit, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so the onions are starting to get translucent, which is what we want. This has just been a matter of moments, too. And now I'm going to add my peppers. There goes the batch of the tricolored peppers. There goes the poblanos. And there goes the jalapeno and serranos. My husband and I like a little bit of heat, so that's what we got. Now I'm going to let these just cook a little bit until they start changing color as well. So while this is cooking, I'll be back in just... Oh, doesn't it look so pretty already? Be back in just a few minutes. Okay, so the vegetables, the peppers are changing color just a little bit. And now I'm going to show you what I got over here, just to get ready to add in. I went ahead and I've got a couple bags of some pre-mixed already type vegetables or so. All of these are going to go in. The first one we're going to put in is the peppers and onions. Just going to dump that thing right on in there. Juice and all. It won't hurt it a bit. It'll just let it steam. Oh yeah. I know some people don't like a lot of peppers and onions, and that's okay. I get it. This is what my husband and I have found that we like to have it for breakfast in the morning, and not only that, it makes a large enough batch so that we can have this for the breakfast in the morning pretty much for about a week. So we'll let that cook just a little bit before we add some more stuff. So, be back in just a moment. Okay, that's been steaming a little bit. And the water in the bag deglazed the bottom of the pot. And that's what we wanted. And all that flavor and all the nutrition from the vegetables to go into the juice that we're going to have. So the next one I'm going to add is the one that has some beans in it. It's what they call a Fiesta style. And you'll see it's got like kidney beans and chickpeas and some white beans in it as well. And putting that in there simply because it takes a little longer for those beans to cook. I'm going to put that in there and let that cook just a little bit before we add our next bag of stuff. And it's looking pretty already, isn't it? I think so. It smells great. Okay, that's been cooking just a little while. And now I'm going to add the, that they call Mexican style. Only because it's got some corn in it. So that takes a little bit more time to cook too. Now, something else that I do is, you know, some of these bags of stuff have big pieces of like carrot stuff in them like that, or big pieces of broccoli. I'll keep out my kitchen scissors, and I'll cut those down to where they're a little bit smaller in piece. That way they cook a little bit more evenly. Just like that, just chop them up a little bit. Not too small, because you want to be able to have nice pieces. And then even that all out, and we'll let that cook for a little bit. Oh yeah. That's looking good. Now I'm going to turn the heat up on it a little bit more too. And we'll turn that up to about a 7.5 or so. So we really want this stuff to steam well. So we're just going to stir it in a little bit, let it steam, and keep on cooking. Alrighty, next step is to add our Italian style. And it's got some zucchini and beans in it as well. And again, if the zucchini pieces are too big, I just take my kitchen shears out there and chop them up a little bit so that they're not so large. Just like that. Just chop them up a little bit, make them a little bit smaller. And same with the cauliflower. It doesn't happen very often, but you can do the same thing with the cauliflower. And then I'm going to add my California style right on top of that as well. And again, same thing with the carrots and broccoli if it's too much. Now, here's where the fun comes in. I'm going to let that cook a little bit, and then we're going to add our last couple ingredients. So, be back with you here in just a minute. Alrighty. I've just incorporated this a little bit, stuck everything around the bottom, swirled around so everything would steam a little bit. Last thing I'm going to add is some mushrooms. Those are coarsely chopped portobellas, and put them in here like that. And I'm going to add a generous portion of apple cider vinegar with the mother. So this is probably a good quarter, half a cup or so. And then I'm going to put the lid on this, and we're going to let her start to steam. And what we want it to do is to steam where it's coming clear out of the sides of our pan. So we'll see how that goes. We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we're cooking these here. I'm going to gently stir in the mushrooms down a little bit. And you're probably wondering why in the world would one want to take and add apple cider vinegar to your vegetables. Well, there's just something about having a fat and a salt and an acid and a heat, which we'll add here in a little bit, even more heat than the Serrano peppers and the jalapenos, that makes food taste, actually, in my opinion, better. There's some science, I'm sure, behind that, but we're going to let this cook a little bit until the mushrooms get a little bit darker there, like that. Actually, a little bit more like that, and let her steam really, really good. So I'm going to crank the heat up a bit more and let her go. I'll put it up about a 7.5 on the electric stove. Put my lid back on it and let her steam. We'll get all of our vegetables done, and we'll have a nice big pot of yumness for breakfast. Okay, I hope you can see this, but you see the steam coming out of there? That's what we want. That means we're nearly done. What we're going to do now is add something of a heated Cajun seasoning. I have a particular brand I like. This particular brand works really great for us. I'm going to season it with that and then scoop her out. So I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, here's a way you can tell whether your concoction's about done or not. You see your mushrooms here? See them a little bit past the steam. See how they've turned brown? That's what we want. So this is all done. I'm going to scoop it into a bowl that'll let it cool for a little bit. I'm going to add some more Slap Your Mama in between the layers when I scoop it out. Add all that wonderful juice because it's got good flavor and a lot of vitamins in it. And then that will be what for breakfast. So I hope you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to fix, and it's very, very simple, and lasts about a week. Well, at least for 2 people it does anyway. Enjoy.